Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today and thank you for your support. Today I'm going to be talking about a beautiful record, one that I definitely had to put in the Records to Die For series. This is number 7 in the series. If you've been following along, the last one was Joni Mitchell's Hijira. And I knew that a Sade record would be among the candidates for a Record to Die For segment. And I had a good feeling that it would be Love Deluxe because it's always stood out to me in her catalog. Everyone's going to have their favorite, of course, but there's something about this one that really struck me emotionally, and I had to highlight it in this. A couple of other reasons I chose Love Deluxe is I have the box set. I reviewed it a while back. Now the box set releases are being sold individually, so I will have the box set and the individual releases in the Amazon affiliate storefront listed below. As always, if you support the channel using the Amazon storefront, it's very much appreciated. So check that out. And Love Deluxe will be among them. I have 2 pressings. I'm going to talk about the sound quality a little bit later, but I wanted to go through the music because it is so compelling. The first 2 albums are wonderful. Diamond Life and Promise really set the world on fire with this new talent. They both have jazzy leanings, a lot of saxophone, a lot of jazz-oriented feeling to them. And it's a wonderful mixture of soul, R&B, and jazz that really hadn't been heard like that before. And add to that the beautiful voice of Sade, and you have a winning combination. As they continued on the 3rd album, Stronger Than Pride, the sound changed a little bit, and I think for my taste, I liked it better. It was a little more contemporary sounding and kind of electronic soundscapes rather than, relying heavily on jazz influences. And I love that sound for Sade, and Stronger Than Pride is a very, very good album. It all kind of came to fruition here on Love Deluxe. It's a bass and percussion heavy album with wonderful touches throughout. It's a sonic masterpiece, and I'm just like in love with this album. Every track is a standout. You'll notice right away, the sonic character of this album. It doesn't matter what format you hear it on. I've heard it on Spotify, I've heard it on CD, I've heard it on these 2 releases, and it always sounds excellent. It's a digital recording originally, so don't be afraid of that though, because it's a marvelous record to show off your system, and emotionally and musically, it's just so beautiful. I liken it to a canvas. And some records are like this. And this one is so perfect for that description. It's like a sonic canvas. It's like a painting almost, with each element carefully placed in the most elegant and understated way. It's so impressive sounding. The mixing and the engineering is unbelievable on this. So perfect for her. It projects her voice beautifully, but all the touches, the guitars, the little bit of saxophone here and there, the percussion, and of course the strong bass and drums, keyboards as well, and some strings, everything is used in the most understated way. Like when you hear the sax solo in a couple of these cuts, it's not blaring out at you like on the first 2 albums. It's like in a mist in the back. It kind of floats in and out. It's so pretty. The same thing with keyboards. They kind of like are in a glow of sorts. The whole mood of the album kind of sets up like this dreamlike glow. And the sustained mood of the album is incredible. Even though it was recorded at different studios, it sounds of a continuous piece and mood. I think most people would classify this as a romantic sounding album. And it is romantic and has a lot of themes of love in it, but it also has serious themes as well. And even though there are a couple of, I would say, sad songs or poignant songs, they are just done with breathtaking beauty, and they are the highlight of the album. Let's go through the tracks. The one you've probably heard is No Ordinary Love, and that sets up the whole mood of the album. Dreamy soundscapes, deep bass. And matter of fact, when you're listening to this album, it's a good test for bass clarity because it is deep, and there are a couple of things going on down there that you want a little bit of separation on. It could sound muddy if you don't have your system dialed in just right. But when it's right, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's really stunning the way the bass comes across on this album. When the first little strum of the guitar comes in, you can tell that it's the way they recorded it and placed it in the soundstage is to accentuate this vast space behind you. And the space is all filled with this beautiful, beautiful little detail. It's like an inky black sky with these little details just placed there. It's so beautiful and such a lovely song. One of her best. Ordinary Love is just lovely. Feel No Pain is a little more serious theme about some, urban difficulties, I would say. People having trouble finding work and so forth. And the emotion in that song is wonderful. It's a funky, slow, kind of funky groove presented, but the vocals just float out. And there's so many interesting background vocals, just little cries from a male vocal. It's amazing. Just a beautiful second track. It's wonderful. I Couldn't Love You More continues a sustained mood, and it's just fabulous. The way the sound is sculpted in this record. And this is another great example. There's a little bit of sax in here, just a little bit, and it just comes in like a silvery little accent, another brush stroke on the canvas. And that's what I love about this. Everything is so understated and elegant. It's just beautiful. Like a Tattoo finishes out the album, the side, I'm sorry. It is nice because you hear like guitar strumming and just keyboards and washes of synthesizer. And there's chord changes in it that are so emotional. It just strikes you. If you don't get moved by that, something's wrong with you. Like a Tattoo is stunning, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Side 2 starts with Kiss of Life. You probably heard that. It's a pretty light and breezy song. But again, Sade treats it with elegance and understatement. And it's beautiful. Beautiful sax in that as well. Lovely keyboards. Fantastic. Cherish the Day. Again, wow. The bass and the drums take precedence on this. Her voice, of course. And the keyboards create a lush soundscape behind her. It feels like strings. They could have used strings in this too. I don't think it is though. But just a lovely, lovely track. And when she sings, Show Me How Deep Love Can Be, the bass reaches real deep. And that's a nice little touch that you can keep an eye out for to see how low your system goes, how deep your love can be. The next one is the emotional standout on the track. It's a sad song. It's about a woman in Somalia trying to survive. The writing is incredible. The setup of the song is absolutely stunning. And there's these incredible emotional shifts in the mood, in the chords, that just, they like almost put a knife in your heart. It's so emotional. I get very, very worked up when I hear that song. I almost get a lump in my throat because it's so moving. And when she sings Alleluia, if you're not moved, you got to be dead inside. It's fabulous, fabulous song. It's a climax of the second side for sure. The music on that track, the strings, there is like some strings in this. I think a cello and maybe some violins, but even the keyboards swell like an orchestra, and it just moves in and out like this. It's just, whoa, beautiful. Bulletproof Soul starts to take you down with a slower funk groove. Not funk, but a little bit slower beat, and a beautiful, beautiful song. Mermaid is a closing track, and it's just an instrumental, and it's just kind of takes every theme of the album and presents it to you again, you know, to finish you off. And I love that. I love that they put an instrumental at the end. The vocals here on this album, well, I wouldn't say they're realistic in absolute terms. They're recorded very well. She's got a bit of a silvery quality to her voice, and it's really, really attractive. I remember seeing her live around this time, actually. The only time I saw her. What a wonderful performer, and a great show. And the whole mood of the performance was just like this. It was just like this, understated elegance. I have 2 copies on vinyl. I just listened to it on Spotify, and it sounds fabulous too. There are a little difference in these two. The music on vinyl is a beautiful record. When I got it home and cleaned it up from after getting it at the show, I was like, oh man, this sounds so nice. It really does sound nice. The Abbey Road Half-Speed Master by Miles Shoal also sounds wonderful too. They do sound a little different though. I feel like on Miles Shoal's cut, the silvery quality of her voice is a little bit accentuated, but not in a bad way. Overall, it comes across as a little more detailed, and the music on vinyl comes across a little bit more warmer, a little more analog-like, I guess. Both are, of course, digital cuts. But I don't want you to be afraid of Miles Shoal Half-Speed Mastered Abbey Road in this case. You know, the first albums in the set, many have said the UKs or certain pressings, the audio fidelities, exceed the quality of the mastering in the Abbey Road box set. And I don't doubt them. But finding original Sade records, especially the ones like the audio fidelities, the UKs, is extremely difficult and very expensive. So the appearance of the box set and the individual releases now is really a welcome thing. And you're not really sacrificing a whole lot in terms of getting you get a wonderful sounding record that's in impeccable shape, brand new, and you want quiet surfaces for this. So I can recommend any of these. Even the Abbey Road Half-Speed Master is wonderful. Just be aware that it does have a little bit of a brighter tone, but it's not a bright recording. It's just a little bit more silvery, I'd say, on top. Otherwise, you've got to hear this record somehow, and it's a wonderful late night record as well, because there's nothing that sticks out in your face. It's all back here. Her voice is here. Everything is painted on this canvas. It's just beautiful. Anyway, I've gone on enough about Sade Love Deluxe. See what you think and let me know. Until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.